Tyson Fury says that him versus Deontay Wilder would have sold 75,000 tickets if it had taken place in Manchester in the UK. I'm going to quote Fury directly here. He said, "I'm sure I'll have as many fans as Deontay Wilder at the fight. But let's just say that if this fight would have been in Manchester or anywhere in the UK, it would have sold out a stadium. We would have sold 75,000 tickets. But they did want it to be here, and I'm happy that it is here because it gets me on the road again, and I'm becoming a type of road warrior now, fighting in different people's countries and taking championships of champions in their home countries. So I've become accustomed to it. But make no mistake, if this would have been in Manchester, we could have sold 75,000 tickets." Goes on to say, "I think it doesn't really matter where the fight is going to be. As a fighter, it doesn't matter wherever it is because the outcome is the same. A fight is a fight. No matter how many fans you've got behind you or how many people want you to win, if you're good enough, you'll win. And if you're not, you're going to lose. So it's really unimportant where the fight is, traveling to different countries. But for me as a fighter, it makes it all the more sweet when I win in somebody else's own backyard. And I tape all that up and use it as fire." So those are the words of Tyson Fury. Now, why is this interesting to me? It says two potential things. One, that he's a little frustrated with the slow ticket sales in the United States for the Wilder fight. They've apparently only sold 8 or 9,000 tickets at this point, and this is a 20,000 seat arena. So they haven't even half filled it. And the top tier at the Staples Center has not been opened at all because they knew they weren't going to be able to fill the stadium out. So perhaps he's disappointed with the slow ticket sales, or perhaps he is once again thinking about Anthony Joshua and how Anthony Joshua is able to effortlessly sell out stadiums, 80, 90,000 people on a regular basis. And he wants to convince himself, I mean, he's been saying, right, that this is the biggest fight in heavyweight boxing. Well, if it's the biggest fight in heavyweight boxing, why can't it sell out an arena? All right, so in his head, he's trying to, not only in his head, but he's trying to convince other people it's because of the fact that it's in America. If it was in the UK, it would do just as bigger numbers as any Joshua fight. Perhaps it's his way of trying to convince people he's just as big a star as Joshua, and this is just as big as any Joshua fight. Because Tyson Fury is obsessed with Anthony Joshua's fame. He is. Tyson Fury's been obsessed with that. He's been envious of the kind of adulation Anthony Joshua gets from the British public. This has been going on for years now with Tyson Fury. Even when Tyson Fury was out of shape and it looked like he, may never come back at one point, he was still talking about Anthony Joshua. Still talking about him. And look, they are rivals. Hopefully one day they do fight. So I can understand that kind of rivalry. But I don't know. I mean, in life, you got to walk your own path. You can't worry about, okay, I'm not getting as much adulation as this guy, or I'm not, you can't worry so much about that. I know Tyson Fury might use it to fuel him, but in the long run, if you don't get the same kind of love as somebody else, it can become a burden. It can start to eat you up and be a detrimental mind state for you. It's like, for example, Andre Ward. Andre Ward, an Olympic gold medalist, a multi-weight world champion, undefeated. For a time in his career, he was hoping that he'd be the next Mayweather in terms of his box office appeal. But at some point in his career, he got to the stage where he was like, you know what? That's not my path. And I heard Andre Ward talk about this in several interviews. He was like, you know what? That's not my path. I wasn't meant to make the kind of money Floyd made. I wasn't meant to do all the things that he ended up doing. I wasn't meant to be that guy. I'm walking my path. I've made whatever I've made, Floyd's made whatever he's made. I can't walk in his shoes and he can't walk in mine. You know, at some stage, if Fury doesn't get the kind of adulation that Joshua gets, he's going to have to come to that realization too, that you can't walk in the next man's shoes. You can only be you. So, but as I say, it does bother Tyson Fury that he doesn't get this kind of love from the fans that Joshua gets. And again, he's still trying to convince everybody that this fight right here, Wilder Fury, is the biggest fight in heavyweight boxing. Of course it's not. Not only is it not the biggest fight in heavyweight boxing in terms of the amount of pay-per-view buys and the amount of gate they're going to do, it's not the biggest fight in heavyweight boxing historically, right now. I'm not talking about of all time. I mean, right now, the biggest fight for history right now is not this fight. The biggest fight in the heavyweight division right now has to involve Anthony Joshua on one side of the equation because he's the man with all the belts. He's the man with the strongest resume. So it has to involve him. The winner of this fight versus Anthony Joshua is the biggest fight in the heavyweight division. How about that? So, yeah. If Fury Wilder was in the UK, would it do 75,000 at Old Trafford or some other stadium? I think it could do good numbers in a stadium. Whether it could do 75,000 and fill the stadium out, I don't know. I'm not saying it wouldn't. I'm saying I don't know. Tyson Fury hasn't done anything like that yet. So is his market value high enough at this point? It's going to be interesting to see what the BT pay-per-view figures are for this fight. Then we might have a better idea how this would do or how this would have done at a stadium when we see the BT pay-per-view figures. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Tyson Fury talking about ticket sales. Why is he doing it? Is he disappointed with how few they've sold so far? Or is he just trying to convince people that he can do the kind of numbers Joshua can do if the fight was in the UK? Let me know how you feel in the comments, people. It's happening, I'm out. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.